Episode 52 of the Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot was the third Sora-centric episode of the series, and it marked the debut of Pyomon's mega, Phoenixmon, aka Hououmon. It was interesting because most viewers kind of agreed the show has struggled with giving much character to Sora, and so when I said last week that I hoped this third Sora solo episode would finally do her justice, many of you commenters weren't convinced, and I wasn't super convinced either, but I've gotta say I actually think we finally got a really great look at Sora as a human being, not just as a cartoon sidekick, and we might even be getting a fourth Sora episode coming up pretty soon. So let's talk about all that plus the super random Digimon appearing in the episode 53 preview. Welcome to the Digino. If it's your first time here, hope you enjoy the episode review. We do this every Sunday, so make sure to leave a like if you liked it and scroll down to the comments to see what other Digimon fans besides me have to say this week. Episode 52 is the kickoff of what I guess I'll start calling the Crest's quest. Last week, our Digidestined chosen children learned that the icons that appear on their Digivices are more than just screensavers and may actually be the key to saving the world from the great catastrophe that's on the way. These little compasses started appearing on most of the kids' Digivices, and they split up in teams in search of the physical forms of their crests. We find Team Taichi and Sora hunting down Sora's real-world crest when we stumble upon a volcano island where a group of chibi Digimon led by Junkmon are building a wall and other safety measures to help survive in the event that their volcano erupts. All throughout the episode, there was a cool respect to the power of nature, and I quite liked when somebody asked the Digimon why they don't leave the island, and they basically say that it's their home and that they like it here. Super small little details, but it added a lot of character to these little guys. In the process of constructing protective walls to slow a future lava flow, Pimon is actually injured while saving Sora from falling objects and needs to sit out for a bit. Sora is obviously grateful and tries to show her love for Pimon and the other Digimon by working overtime to get this job finished, pushing herself to extreme levels. I at first thought that the episode was going to maybe explore Sora's Crest of Love by diving into the problem with giving too much of yourself away to others at the expense of your own health or something like that, but it does take a slightly different turn with the theme of love. When Pimon expresses a fear of missing out and a willingness to get back to work, Sora refuses to let Pimon help, citing the injury, and it's pretty clear this is Sora not wanting to endanger Pimon, but Pimon in that moment can't see it as anything else but Sora excluding her and proclaims, "I hate you, Sora," which, has to sting. They split off here, and Pimon reflects on how Sora never trusts her even after all the battles Pimon has won for Sora. You can't help but feel bad for Pimon. Things start going bad though, and the volcano begins actively erupting. There's a real sense of dread, and with the wall incomplete, Sora tries to double down on completing it when Junkmon tells her that it's not worth it and forces an evacuation. Junkmon is injured in the process, and Sora has to help Junkmon down and escape with both of their lives. In this moment, I really like the show wrestling with the fear of kind of ending things on a sour note with somebody. In this moment, it's not super clear if Sora will ever see Pimon again, and it's kind of heartbreaking knowing that the last interaction they may ever have is one of them telling the other that they hate them. Thankfully, Pimon appears through the smoke, and they're able to patch things up, thanks in large part to Junkmon helping Sora realize that loving someone isn't a one-way street or just about protecting them, and that there needs to be a give and take and a trust in each other. It's the trust in each other that takes Pimon to the next level, finally bringing us beyond Garudamon and into Sora's mega, Hououmon, or Phoenixmon in the past English localization of Digimon. We get a pretty great evolution animation here, not on the level of War Greymon or Metal Garurumon, but visually it's still quite a treat, and it almost makes up for all the times we got an energy ball or a quick cut for the Bergermon evolution. Almost, but not quite. Now, three big notable things from the Phoenixmon debut I want to talk about. One, the camera and the sound department really seem to focus in on the Holy Rings component of Phoenixmon's design. Not so much in Adventure, but in other Digimon universes, Phoenixmon is seen as one of the holy Digimon on a different level than guys like Phoenixmon and Metal Garurumon, etc. So one thing I'll be really fascinated to find out is if in this new series, do they treat Phoenixmon like a holy Digimon on the same stage as Angemon and Angewomon, because we have previously focused in on Holy Rings in this series. The thing is, it doesn't really make sense for the plot to have a surprise third holy Digimon, especially when that role seems to be made directly and specifically for TK and Kari's Digimon. But by all means, let me know in the comments if you think the holy Digimon factor will play a role in the series, or do you think the show will just treat Phoenixmon like any other mega? The second notable thing from this climax is that there really isn't a fight. Like, there isn't actually an enemy for Phoenixmon to square off with, and while I can understand why this might feel underwhelming, we as a fan community have sometimes complained about how the series feels like it's forcing a fight into every episode. So I gotta say, I think it would be a little hypocritical if we now complain that this mega reveal sucked because because there was no, evil Digimon to beat up. I think just visually and kind of with the mysticism, it was really cool seeing Phoenixmon have such power that they could just completely turn off this volcano eruption. And the third notable thing is that surprisingly, the physical crest did not come into play for unlocking the Mega, which I find fascinating. They emphasize very clearly at the end of this episode that this current location is not where the Digivice compass was pointing. There's still a goal beyond this. We should have expected that the crests weren't the key to Mega though, since Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon did not need them, but yeah, it still kind of surprised me. Since Sora needs to find this location, we may be looking at a 4th Sora-centric episode, which is surprising, but I'll take it, especially after this episode really impressed me. So yeah, that is Sora's 3rd solo episode and Hououmon/Phoenixmon's debut. What did you think of it? I think of the Sora episodes, this one is hands down the best, no competition. It was great seeing Sora and Pimon basically have to learn each other's love languages to realize what the other needs and then reach new heights through a better understanding of their relationship. Now, I really need to talk about the episode 53 preview because a really weird looking Digimon pops up in it, but I know some people don't watch the preview, so I'll do a 5-second countdown. If you're clicking off now, thanks for watching and we'll see you next week. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so next week we'll be meeting back up with Joe, TK, and Kari, and in the preview we see a Digimon called Kabukimon who is historically created when Gatomon/Tailmon uses the Digi-Egg of Sincerity or Reliability, aka the egg with Joe's symbol on it. So your first thought might be that Tailmon is going to get the surprise Digivolution next week by somehow utilizing a power that came from Joe, but actually I don't think so. If you remember when Ponchomon showed up, Ponchomon historically comes from Patamon digivolving using the Digi-Egg that has Mimi's symbol on it, but the show decided to change things up. So I think more accurately what could happen is Gomamon is somehow going to get this alt evolution, just like how Palmon got the alt evolution into Ponchomon. Why this will happen, I'm not super sure. I think we all thought Vikemon was coming next week, but it seems like that's not the case. And hey, if Sora is getting a 4th episode, maybe Joe is too, and we'll save Vikemon for the 4th and final Joe episode when he's physically staring down the physical crest of reliability. Comment below and let me know what you think of Kabukimon. Is he going to come from Tailmon or Gomamon, or will it just be totally random? Like maybe it's the enemy of the week and not even related to the hero's Digimon in this show. But I think that'll do it for my episode 52 review video. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed and you made it this far, do consider subscribing to support the channel. I will actually have a fun video out this week on the Digino 02. That's my bonus channel, and it's going to be me reviewing my predictions about Digimon Adventure 2020 1 year ago and seeing how far off I was or how correct I was. I'll be watching my first ever video as my episode 1 review and probably going to be cringing a lot at my voiceover skills and my editing skills, and yeah, but mainly I'll be listening to see if I was right or wrong about the series trajectory. It should be a lot of fun, so look forward to that. Subscribe to the Digino 02 so you don't miss that one. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.